Um, Buenas tardes a todos, bienvenidos a nuestro reunión de las 5 de la tarde organizada por Grupo Meraki. Tenemos como invitado especial a Dave Johnson, que es nuestro upline, y es un gusto para nosotros tenerlo con nosotros y poder que lo conozcan todos ustedes y poder aprender de él. So Dave, welcome. Our group name is Oreca, which means balance, and we make small team groups, teamwork groups. So today, Grupo Meraki is in charge of this meeting, and the organizers are Vivian Cooperman and Danny Margalef and myself. So we're very happy to have you with us this afternoon. And so we can have the opportunity for the team to meet you. There's people from Panama, from Chile, and from Mexico here to meet you. So hay personas conectadas de Panamá, de Chile y de México. Así es que, welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
So we would love to listen a little bit from you. Who is Dave Johnson, and what's your story? What's your Niken story? How come we're all your children? We're your grandsons and great-grandsons and daughters. So Dave, me gustaría conocer quién es Dave Johnson, cuál es tu historia y cómo es que todos nosotros pertenecemos a tu grupo.
Well, one reason I think is a fun story is a couple of years ago, my original sponsor in Niken was in town. I hadn't seen him for about 10 years or so. Should I stop there? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Dave nos está contando que hace como 10 años que no veía a su patrocinador de Niken, entonces se lo encontró 10 años después.
Well, he was in the business about a year, and then he went off and did something else, and then he did something else, and then another deal. And so we met for lunch a couple of years ago, and I hadn't seen him for probably 20 years. And should we mute everybody?
Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, okay, that's muted. I'm sorry, Dave.
No problem. And go ahead and translate that part.
Okay, so no, hacía 10 años no veía a la persona que es su upline, y esa persona estuvo en el negocio y luego se fue a hacer otras cosas y luego otras cosas diferentes, y por alguna razón se juntaron, que estaban los dos en la misma ciudad.
And so we were having lunch, and he said, I believe I know the secret of success. It's just find a really good company and just stay with it rather than hopping around.
Y se fueron a comer juntos, y el que es su patrocinador le dijo, creo que ya encontré la fórmula del éxito, y es asóciate con una compañía y pégate con ella y dejar de estar brincando de una cosa a la otra.
Another thing is, for me, I was anxiously looking for something, and that included saying my prayers and searching, and I wanted a way to make some money, but I also wanted to wake up in the morning and be excited about going to work, but I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to have impact in the world, and I think a lot of people are like that.
Okay. Yo también por mi cuenta estaba buscando algo que me inspirara, algo que hacer en mi vida, pero no nada más un trabajo normal que me diera dinero, sino que algo que todas las mañanas me despertara con entusiasmo, y realmente me importa tener un impacto en el mundo.
And so when I found Niken, I knew inside that this was an answer to my prayers. I just knew that I knew. And so my strategy, therefore, was I'm not that different than anybody else. I'll bet a lot of people are frustrated with their life, and they're on their knees praying for the same thing I was. And so my strategy was to pray to be led to those people who were praying, that this might be the answer for them as well.
Okay. Yo cuando conocí Niken, inmediatamente supe, cuando sabes, supe que sabía que eso era bueno para mí. Y yo llevaba mucho tiempo rezando por una oportunidad como esta y me di cuenta que soy como todas las demás personas y que hay muchas personas que están frustradas, igual que como yo lo estaba, buscando una oportunidad. Y ahora, y de entonces me puse a rezar porque se me pusieran enfrente las personas que estaban como yo, buscando una oportunidad como es Niken.
Well, think about this. Perhaps the most wonderful feeling you'll ever have is to follow a prompting and discover later on that that led to be the answer to someone else's prayer because you followed that prompting. And that's a really neat feeling. And so much of Niken, you can make some money, but the emotional paycheck, the spiritual income is unbounded in Niken.
El cheque emocional que tienes en Niken no tiene precio, porque además de ganar dinero, te das cuenta que por ser pionero en un proyecto, resulta que hay miles y miles de personas que continuaron detrás y que a lo que tú le diste una posibilidad, muchísima gente también buscaba esa posibilidad. Así es que además del cheque en dinero, el cheque emocional es gigante.
And if you feel like you're on a mission and still just have a business, that you're out to serve and make a difference, that's just irresistible. And people want to be on a mission. And so that's a phrase I'm using all the time, is we're putting together a team, and we're going to really have a major impact on the world, because with us on our team together, we can do great things. And that just gets really exciting, doing work that matters together, doing something that you wouldn't be able to do by yourself, but with a bunch of people, you can move mighty things and make a tremendous difference.
Así es que yo estoy en una misión, no nada más tengo un negocio que me deja dinero, sino estoy en una misión. Y esto es lo que le digo a las personas, estoy en una misión y estoy formando equipos que vamos a tener un gran impacto en el mundo y trascender. Y las personas, te vuelves tú irresistible a las personas porque las personas cuando escuchan esto quieren ser parte de esta transformación y quieren ser parte de estos equipos.
Another secret of success is I've just probably talked to more people than almost anyone else. And so if you talk to a lot of people over time, there's a wonderful compounding effect and things start adding up. And that's what really happens is everything that you want is on the other side of a telephone. It's on the other end of a telephone. And so just have a goal to make as many calls as you can day after day after day and follow up and just really love people and get really good at telling the story. Tell it well, tell it often, and tell it to good people. And then you're successful.
El otro secreto para ser exitoso es que yo contacto a más cantidad de personas que los demás o que el promedio de la gente. Todo lo que tú quieras está del otro lado de tu celular. Entonces, si tú realmente te pones una meta y te dedicas a llamar y explicarle a las demás personas la historia que tú quieres contar, entre más personas sean accesibles a tu historia, pues más probabilidades de éxito vas a tener.
So any questions, anybody? Or
¿Hasta aquí alguna pregunta? ¿Duda? I think we don't have questions yet, Dave.
Okay. So I think one of the big things is stay plugged in. Call your call your upline that you relate with, call them every day. My original sponsor, I never did really connect with him. Our personalities are different, our values different, and he wound up quitting, so I didn't want to duplicate him. But his sponsor, our hearts really matched. We had similar values, and he was real successful. So I called him every day, and we did three-ways. And I think that's the magic also, is I do lots of three-ways every day, and they're powerful. And three-ways, they are really, really good because they validate what's going on. They're an expert, but also you're hearing somebody that has the magic. They have the right words, and when you hear those words that have worked for them to succeed, you can borrow those words and make them your own, and start using them yourself. So you're able to help other people with the three-way, but also you're learning how to become a good when you're doing three-ways for your people, and just keeping that duplication going on where everybody's doing lots of three-ways, and everybody's out connecting and talking, and then you just can't help but make good. It really grows.
Perfect. So, Dave nos dice que cuando él realmente no conectaba con su upline porque no tenían ni los mismos principios ni valores y realmente no había ninguna conexión, entonces finalmente su upline dejó el negocio y el upline de su upline encontró a alguien con que realmente conectaba de corazón, que realmente estaba contento trabajando con él. Y la recomendación es, háblale todos los días a tu upline. O sea, llama diario, habla diario con tu upline, estate muy en contacto y sobre todo hacer three-ways, que three-ways nosotros le llamamos el ABC. Entonces, hacer la mayor cantidad de ABCs porque es ponerle a la otra persona enfrente a alguien que tiene la magia, que tiene las palabras correctas. Entonces, él comenta que cuando haces esta cantidad de ABCs y ABCs y conectar a las personas entre sí, se vuelve imparable.
Okay, any other questions?
I think we have a question on the chat.
Okay.
The question is, does it work the same to use phone calls for sales and for having consultants join the business? Do you have a different strategy for selling the product than for inviting somebody to join the team?
Oh, that's a very good question. I kind of look at the opportunity and the product as kind of like hand in glove. And so it isn't like the product is over here, but the opportunity is a whole different direction. So in my mind, I kind of think, wow, these products are amazing. Amazing. Well, there must be a good opportunity if you have such amazing product. So that would be one way, but the other way would be, let me tell you why we have such an amazing opportunity. It's because every business, to justify having a business, you've got to have really good product. And so they kind of fit together, and you can kind of do both at the same time, and then just listen to them and what are they excited about.
Okay. Dave nos cuenta que él no separa el producto por acá y el negocio por acá, que para él producto y negocio es como una mano y un guante, van juntos. Entonces, tienes una gran oportunidad de negocio porque tienes unos extraordinarios productos. Y detrás de unos extraordinarios productos hay una gran oportunidad. Así es que, por donde lo quieras ver, es una gran oportunidad que él siempre maneja de forma conjunta. Productos con oportunidad.
Vero, ¿puedo hacer una pregunta?
Claro.
En todos estos años desde que partió, que por lo que entiendo son muchos, si alguna vez ha sentido que hay algún efecto puntual que hace que su negocio se estanque un poco. Yo entiendo lo que él dice en el sentido de siempre como el ABC, siempre el upline, pero si hay algo puntual que él sienta que hace parar de repente su negocio.
Ok. Dave, this is Vivian Cooperman from Chile. First gold in Chile.
Oh, congratulations. Awesome.
The first
Thank you.
gold in Chile overall. So
Wonderful.
we're very happy to have the first gold in Chile in our team. And her question is, can you relate to something specific that makes the business slow down? Like, is there something specific that you can tell, like touch and feel, that when this happens, the business slows down?
Yes. Have you guys heard of Amway?
Que sí sabe de lo que te va a contar, y pregunta que si conocen Amway, la empresa Amway.
Sí,
Sí.
Yeah.
noción, pero no más allá de noción.
Oh,
Yo no
okay.
conozco más allá de Amway.
Yeah. Well, Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel, they're wonderful people. They founded Amway, and they were out in the field building Amway at the beginning, and they got wonderful personalities. They were magic, and it was just growing like crazy for several years. I'm like 7-8 years. It was just going real crazy, and then it just faltered, and then just started collapsing. You want to
Ya. Si conocen Amway, los fundadores de Amway empezaron con una súper energía, con una muy buena mística del negocio, y empezaron a reclutar personas increíbles y empezaron a crecer, y durante 7-8 años hicieron este trabajo increíble. Y luego...
And what they found is that they'd gone into management. And so they quit bringing in people themselves, and it's a business of duplication. And so they went into management, and so their key people went into management,
Okay.
which made them supervisors. And then that got duplicated, and then their managers became supervisors, and then they started managing, and it just went on down. And so everyone was in management, and no one was doing anything.
Okay. A los 7-8 años que Amway empezó con esta gran mística, empezaron a caer en modo administrativo. Entonces, estos uplines empezaron a administrar su negocio, y entonces en este negocio todo se replica. Entonces los de aquí empezaron a administrar, y estos a administrar, y estos a administrar. ¿Y qué es lo que pasó? Que nadie siguió haciendo lo que hay que hacer para que este negocio crezca, que es ir por nuevas personas.
In physics, they talk about quantum mechanics, and how there can be a particle here and one over here, and they talk about entanglement. And so something happens here and something happens there. And Einstein was really frustrated with that. He said spooky things happening at a great distance. And that happens in this business. You're a particle over here, you got your group over here that could be in another country, but somehow magically there's an entanglement, and you get active, they get active, you go to sleep, they go to sleep. It's just really something how that happens. So what happened with Rich and Jay is they realized what they were doing. They got busy and started sponsoring people, and everybody else started sponsoring people, and they came out of that slump and just went going. So.
Okay. Así es que él lo relaciona con la mecánica cuántica, y la mecánica cuántica Einstein la explicó muy bien, y dice que es cuando una cosa sucede aquí y las cosas que suceden a distancia. Tú puedes estar en un país y otra persona en otro país, y algo pasa que si tú te aplicas y te pones a hacer lo que tienes que hacer y te activas, los del otro lado también se activan. Si tú te vas a dormir, ellos también se van a ir a dormir. Entonces, es una cuestión de mecánica cuántica que funciona mucho en este negocio y, bueno, en la vida en general. Entonces, lo que nos platica de los fundadores de Amway es que cuando ellos se dieron cuenta de esta cuestión de que todos estaban entrando en modo administrativo, cambiaron, empezaron a volver a hacer lo que hicieron al principio, y sacaron a Amway de la crisis en la que estaba.
we've heard this statement probably: the speed of the group is determined by the speed of the leader. So it is a business of duplication, and they do what you do. So that's a key. And you could be thinking, well, gee, I just can't get my group to be motivated. Well, get a new group. Every problem that there is, the answer is sponsor some new people. You can sponsor your way out of every problem.
Okay. Lo que dice Dave es que siempre hay que buscar nuevas personas y que el reclutar personas nuevas en tu grupo te va a sacar de cualquier problema que tengas en este negocio. La velocidad del negocio es la velocidad del líder. Entonces, si tú eres un líder que no va rápido y va despacito, o sea, lo que tú hagas, ellos van a replicar. Entonces, la pregunta es, ¿tú qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué tan rápido vas? ¿Qué tan rápido quieres ir? Y si tu grupo no resuena, consíguete un nuevo grupo. Entonces, y siempre sal y busca personas nuevas. I love that, Dave.
Pensamos igual.
And I think we have another question on the chat. Girls,
Sure.
Why don't you speak up? You can speak up. What are the keys for having success to revert the answer of someone saying that are not interested in being part of Nikken, or they're not interested in Nikken at all? What do you answer to those people that that tell you, no, Dave, that's not for me. I'm not interested at all.
I tell them, like, well, I thank you so much for your time. If you ever change your mind, let me know. But let me say, every business loves referrals. And now that you've seen what I'm doing, as a personal favor to me, do you know anyone that you think might be interested in what I have or the products? That would mean a lot if you can think of somebody.
Ok. Lo que les digo es, primero que nada, muchas gracias por tu tiempo y por escucharme. Y si cambias de opinión, pues puedes contactarme. Y si lo que te quiero pedir es de favor personal hacia mí, es que pienses en alguien a quien yo pueda hablarle y contarle lo que te acabo de contar.
My thought, and you could write this down, because this is a big thing.
Oh, no.
And it's an affirmation I'm saying all the time. I'm looking for people who are looking for me.
Okay.
So if they're not looking, I think I'm not in the convincing business. If they're not interested, okay. If they're not interested because I'm clumsy and I don't know how to explain what this is, and if someone else that was competent and knew how to say the right things, then they would have been interested, then it's my fault. But if I get really good at telling the story and they're still not interested, then it's their fault. And that's part of it's just the numbers. Some will and some won't. And so I'm just in the sorting business. I'm looking for people who are looking for me. And if they're not looking for this, then it's a lot more easy to find somebody that's interested rather than trying to be in the convincing business and say, oh, please get in. You don't understand. That will just be a futility, frustration, trying to talk somebody into something that they're not interested in. Just go look for interested people.
Perfect. Lo que dice Dave es que él no está en el negocio de convencer a personas. Si yo le expliqué y le conté mi historia y no le fue interesante porque yo lo hice mal o como no lo hice bien mi trabajo, el problema es mío. Pero si yo hice bien mi trabajo y aprendí a decir bien mi historia y la otra persona no le interesa, el problema es de la otra persona. Y él siempre hace una afirmación todo el tiempo y dice, yo estoy buscando personas que me están buscando a mí. Y busca personas que cuando él habla, y resuena con esas personas y esas personas quieren pero él no está en el negocio de convencer personas. Dice que si él tiene que convencer a alguien, le cuesta menos esfuerzo y menos tiempo buscar a alguien nuevo que estar convenciendo a alguien con quien no resuena. We have another question, Dave. First, Ileana Marin from Chile wants to say that she's very happy to listen to your experience, and she would like to ask you, when you started the business, did you ever doubt about it? And what made you what made you leap in this business from one point to the other, so you could continue with passion over this business?
Oh, that's a good question. I think a lot of it was because this wasn't my first rodeo. I had been in several other companies that had taught me what I needed to do. I was with a company right before Nikken for almost 8 years. And several of those years I was full-time, not rich or anything, but doing quite well. And then it fell apart. And so if you add it all up, I had about 15 years experience before I got into Nikken. And so I already was very skilled at making calls and getting people curious enough to want to meet with me, and then being able to do presentations that would compel people to want to carry on with me. And so I looked at Nikken before, and I just thought, wow, I know how to drive, I just don't have a vehicle. And so when Nikken came along, I thought, wow, this is even more than what I was hoping for. This is better. And I already know how to drive. And on top of that, my upline, he knew specifically the right things to say and do to Nikken. He knew all about the product and how the specialized things to say for Nikken. And so I just copied everything he did, with the understanding that success is predictable, that successful people do certain things a certain way. And if you do those things that create results, do them again and again and again over a long period of time, then success becomes inevitable.
Okay. Dave nos cuenta que él estuvo en otra compañía antes, en la cual estuvo 8 años y se le colapsó todo. Entonces, cuando él llegó a Nikken, ya tenía 15 años de experiencia, y entonces él ya sabía manejar este tipo de negocios, pero no tenía un vehículo. Entonces, con la experiencia de sus trabajos anteriores, empezó a desarrollar Nikken, y cuando vio Nikken, pudo darse cuenta que lo que estaba recibiendo era mucho más grande de lo que él esperaba tener. Así es que con todo el entusiasmo empezó a usar las herramientas y los conocimientos que él tenía para empezar a usar el vehículo de Nikken. Ay, David, dijiste más cosas.
Sí, ¿cómo te fue?
I think I'm missing the last part, Dave.
What did I say? The big thing I think I've finished was just success is very predictable.
That's
you
it.
do certain things a certain way and do that again and again. Identify what counts. Do the most productive thing. And what that is talking to people and saying the story, learning it well and telling it often to good people. And then just do that over time. Then success is a certainty, because if you just try 1 or 2 people, you might get the right one. But if you, over time, the numbers become overwhelming. There's magic in talking to enough people.
Okay, thank you, Dave. I was missing that part. Dice que el éxito es predecible, que la gente exitosa hace ciertas cosas de una forma consistente. Entonces, si quieres ser exitoso, lo único que hay que hacer es hacer esas cosas que hace la gente exitosa de forma consistente. Entonces, si tú logras hacer eso y puedes contactar y llegar a suficientes personas, tu éxito es inevitable. Entonces, al final se vuelve un juego de números. Entre más personas contactes, unos te van a decir que sí, otros que no, pero entre más contactes, mayores son tus posibilidades de que encuentres a estas personas que quieren ser igual de exitosas que tú. I hope I got it right, Dave.
It sounds good to me.
Let me check if do we have another question? ¿Tenemos alguna otra pregunta para Dave?
I have a question. Hi, Dave. This is Pamela.
Hi, Pamela. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico. I live in Monterrey, Mexico.
Oh, awesome.
I keep hearing
I'm sorry, Pamela. She's a recent platinum.
Oh, congratulations, Pamela. That's wonderful. I love that. Platinum Pam.
The same family. Todos somos la misma familia.
Dave, I've had the opportunity to talk to Mike DiMuccio and have ABCs or 3 ways with him. And he often says that you kept telling him, go make a mess and I'll help you clean it up.
Yeah.
I keep doing that.
La pregunta de Pame es, Pame le cuenta a Dave que ha hablado varias veces con Mike DiMuccio y Mike le dice, tú sal, haz un cochinero y nosotros te vamos a ayudar a limpiarlo.
Well, I've taken that seriously and I've done that plenty of times. and Veronica helps me clean it up.
Me he tomado en serio ese consejo y salgo y hago un cochinero y luego Verónica me ayuda a limpiarlo.
So what do you mean by that? I mean, and how have you helped Mike clean it up?
¿Tú qué opinas de eso y cómo has ayudado tú a Mike a limpiar sus cochineros?
I think if you kind of put that out into better words, which are very, very inspiring, is momentum. Momentum is a leader's best friend, and momentum exaggerates everything we do. You get momentum coming, and it attracts people. It makes you more attractive, and gives you charisma because people want to belong to something that's winning. The best time to make a sale is right after you made a sale. The best time to sponsor somebody is right after you sponsored somebody. And so that's what I mean by making a big mess, is just going out there and talking to lots of people, concentrating that into a small period of time. And that becomes very, very attractive, very powerful. So that's another thing for your notes, is momentum is a leader's best friend. It's an exaggerator. It makes everybody extraordinary. It multiplies everything we do.
Dave cuenta que poniendo eso de ir a hacer un cochinero en palabras más lindas se llama momentum. Y el momentum es el mejor amigo de un líder. Entonces, hacer todo ese cochinero es tener momentum y es meterle velocidad y poder a tu negocio. Entonces, cuando tú tienes ese momentum, es hacer las cosas que tienes que hacer en un periodo de tiempo más corto. Entonces, eso se convierte en una energía súper poderosa que convierte, ay Dios mío, lo dijo ahorita al final, que hace que todo crezca mucho más. Entonces, cuando tú haces este momentum, cuando tú tienes este momentum, se contagia y tu organización empieza a seguir este momentum. Así es que eso, el cochinero y yo te ayudo a limpiarlo, es tener momentum. Y dice que el mejor momento para hacer una venta es cuando acabas de cerrar una venta. Y el mejor momento para incorporar una persona es cuando acabas de incorporar una persona.
If you kind of human nature, you might be thinking, okay, I better not go too fast because it'll get out of control. So if I sponsor this person, then I'm going to need to follow up and get with them, and they're going to have some people. So I better keep these days open here, and just kind of laying out, thinking it'll happen. And you're going too slow because It just usually doesn't happen that way. So make the mess by calling so many people that if they all said yes, you wouldn't be able to handle it all. You'd be too busy. And so that's where you're making the mess. And if that problem ever arises, that's the problem you want to have, and we'll help you clean it up. But the big thing is just talk to more people than you can possibly follow up on, because it's just not going to be as good as you think it is. It's just it's a numbers game, and it always takes longer than you think. So you just allow for that by, seeing if you can sponsor 10, 20 people all at once, and it gets really exciting. So yeah, make a mess.
Dice que sí salgan y hacer un cochinero, que cuando tú incorporas a uno y dices, no, está interesado, entonces va a traer más personas y voy a separar mi agenda para atender a esa persona, vas muy despacio. El chiste es que salgas a contactar y a reclutar muchas más personas de las que eres capaz de maniobrar o de atender. Ahí es cuando estás haciendo bien tu trabajo. Ahí es cuando estás haciendo un cochinero. Pamela did that very well. Pamela hizo eso muy bien. Y nosotros te vamos a ayudar a limpiar el cochinero. Pero si tú agarras a unos y hasta que estén perfectamente bien entrenados y les voy a separar mi tiempo, vas muy despacio. O sea, hay que salir y hacer ese momentum y ir por más personas de las que eres capaz de manejar. Es un muy buen problema para tener.
Thank you.
¿Alguien más tiene alguna duda, pregunta? Any other questions for Dave?
I have another question. After so many years, we all wonder, I'm sure, how do you keep making a contact with people, inviting people? Where do you get all these people from after so many years in the business?
That's a really good question. You would
Dave,
think...
give me 1 second so people can understand in Spanish. Después de tantos años en el negocio, how many years have you been in the business, Dave, for?
This month is our 30th anniversary.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, I joined when I was 10 years old.
Nice. Este mes, Dave y Valerie, su esposa, cumplen 30 años en el negocio. Y dice que él empezó cuando tenía 10 años. Y la pregunta de Pame es, después de tantos años en el negocio, ¿cómo es que te mantienes activo, reclutando, haciendo lo que todos tenemos que hacer todos los meses?
So the question is, it makes sense. You'd think by now I would have used up all my people, but what happens is as you grow, every person knows somebody that you don't know, and as you meet a new person, it opens up a whole new world of people because they know people who know people. So if you get good at getting referrals, all of a sudden you have an infinite resource. There's millions of people out there, and you'll never run out of people if you get good at getting referrals. And you have this is my prospect book, and it's just filled with names of people, and I just kind of go through there and follow up, and some of them I've crossed out, but every day my antennas are up, and I have a goal to at least add one more name to my prospect book every day, and you just get around, meet people. I go to the health food store, and they have a bulletin board there, and I look for people that have interesting cards, and I ask them, I call them and I just say, hey, I saw your card at the health food store, so you must be interested in health, and it looks like you love people too. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and get them talking, and they say, well, what about you? And then I'll say, well, actually I'm working with a company, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about is this stuff right here. And so I'll just kind of be specific. Now I'm working with a company. Are you familiar with the Kinesio tape? Well, we've got a product that works like the regular Kinesio tape, except it's got this amazing technology that was developed by some Japanese people. It has energy, and nobody knows exactly how it works, but you put it on and instantly you feel better. It's absolutely amazing. If you know somebody that hurts, I'll give you a couple of pieces and just put it where it hurts, and it just might help. And sometimes it's just instantaneous, and that's kind of fun. You can just put a couple of pieces in an envelope and mail it to somebody, and so that's a lot of fun. Just kind of being specific and use that as the portal, the gateway into all of the other products. And so just all kinds of things you can do. There's people everywhere.
Dave tiene su cuadernito y donde tiene su lista de prospectos, y cada día se pone como meta poner un nombre nuevo en su lista de prospectos. Y lo que sucede es que él dice, después de 30 años, mis contactos ya me los debí de haber acabado. Pero una persona que conoces te abre un portal enorme a muchísimas personas que tú no conocías. Entonces, si tú sabes capitalizar el capital relacional de las otras personas, no se te acaba la lista nunca. Y además, Dave se va a la tienda de cosas saludables que está por su casa y tienen un pizarrón donde la gente pone sus tarjetas. Entonces, él agarra las tarjetas de la gente que está ahí y las contacta. Y les dice, oye, vi tu tarjeta en la tienda de cosas saludables y asumo que te interesa la salud. A mí me gustaría que me platiques un poquito más de ti. Entonces empiezan una conversación y siempre habla del duct tape de Nikken y les dice, oye, mira, yo tengo este tape que me gustaría que lo probaras, y corta unos pedacitos y se los pone en un sobre y se los manda por correo y le dice, ponlo en alguien que conozcas que le duele algo y probablemente le pueda ayudar y ya luego me cuentas. Entonces, su puerta de entrada a todos los demás productos es el tape, cosa que me tienes muy apantallada de. I'm very impressed that you use the duct tape as a gateway.
Yeah, I call it prospecting tape.
Prospecting tape, nice. Nice. And
I have a question. Why the tape and not the water? Hi, Dave. My name is Paula from Mexico.
Hi, Paula. Glad to meet you. The tape is because you can just cut a couple of pieces and put it in an envelope and mail it to somebody. And about half of the population is in pain. And if you put this on, more often than not, it works, sometimes instantly. So it's pretty amazing.
Paula pregunta que por qué el tape y no el agua. Y Dave le contesta que el tape le cortas unos pedacitos y lo mandas por correo en un sobre, y nos dice que la mitad de la población le duele algo. Entonces es una manera de que prueben el tape y les deje de doler algo, y entonces hay una posibilidad de que quieran conocer más. Dave, time flies. We're almost...
Okay, I just texted you to everyone on the chat. This is a link that you can copy. And of course, it is in English, but there's several testimonies specifically about the tape, but other things as well. And so that could be a resource for anybody that's English speaking. But I've got about 25 short, like 2 or 3 minute testimonials about Nikken product. And so you can kind of borrow that. So yeah, maybe take a moment and copy that. And if you speak English, it'll be real handy.
Perfect. Dave nos pone una liga en el chat que podemos todos copiar y pegar, y es unos videos cortos que él ha hecho con testimonios sobre los productos que están en inglés, pero que pueden servirnos. Así es que, thank you, Dave. That's very generous of you sharing this link with us. Muchas gracias.
You can use that as a template. Take a pic yourself, Veronica, and then what you can do is get a Vimeo channel of your own and go around and get some Spanish-speaking testimonials and do the same thing.
Nice. So, lo que me dice es que nosotros deberíamos de juntarnos para abrir un canal de Vimeo y ir subiendo testimonios. Y I have a question, Dave.
Mhm.
Why Vimeo and not some other app? Why not YouTube? ¿Por qué usas Vimeo, que es una app de videos cortos? ¿Y por qué no usas otra aplicación como YouTube o una cosa así?
That's a good question. I thought I would just try it because it's not cluttered. If you do YouTube, there's all these distractions of other things that'll lead you to other places, and that's okay on some instances. But I thought just these short things, I would do something on its own. In fact, let me
Nice.
do this other one here.
Lo que dice es que él prefiere Vimeo porque son cortos y porque no hay tanto tráfico como en YouTube. Entonces en YouTube te metes a buscar algo y te salen 80 distracciones más, y en Vimeo te lleva directo a este tema. Pues está interesante, es algo que podríamos hacer sin problema. ¡Qué emoción! Algo nuevo que hacer. ¡Yay! Something new to do.
No
I'm
hay nada que
always
hacer.
excited. Vivi Cooperman, estabas tan aburrida que mira, ya tenemos algo más que hacer.
This is a YouTube, and I have my own YouTube channel, and this is just a talk I gave. This is in English, of course, but it's just on the power of influence, and so you kind of get an idea of my philosophy. But that's something you can copy. And I've got a whole bunch of some really good YouTube episodes that are on product, on training, attitude, some good stuff. So copy that too, and I think you might enjoy that as well.
Thank you. Nos está compartiendo otra liga de una plática que dio en YouTube, y tiene diferentes pláticas en YouTube y donde él plasma su filosofía. Dave, there's something I look up to you very much, and it is that your values and your principles and the way you do the business, it resonates with me. And you're always taking care of the company. You're not thinking of what can Niken do for me, but you're always thinking, what can you do for Niken? And I think that's amazing. So what rules your business? O sea, mi pregunta para Dave es una persona a la que yo admiro por su manera de llevar el negocio. Dave nunca lo vas a hacer haciendo una estrategia, una chapuza. Tiene una forma muy recta, es un hombre muy vertical haciendo su negocio. Entonces, mi pregunta es, ¿cuáles son los principios y los valores que manejan tu negocio? Digamos, nosotros le llamamos código de honor, porque Dave siempre está viendo cómo ayuda a Niken. No está pensando qué va a hacer Niken por mí, sino cómo él puede ayudar a tener un mejor socio. Y eso yo lo admiro muchísimo de él. So we call it the code of honor. Mm-hmm. And some leaders, we have our code of honor written down and we post it. So I would like to know you better in that regard.
Okay, mine's kind of short. Kind of my affirmation is make a difference. I want to be a force for good, and I look at Niken as products and an opportunity that is a powerful tool to multiply your power to make a positive difference in the world. And so that's kind of in my mind, is make a difference. Hopefully a positive difference. And then I love the scripture where it talks about the Lord that says he went about doing good, and that's pretty succinct. And I thought, well, that's what we should do every day. We should go about doing good. And I love the thought that good things happen, and they only would have happened because of your good influence. And so if we can be a powerful force for good, that's kind of what I think is that the world will be better because you knew me, you know.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
La respuesta de Dave es que su código de honor es muy cortito y es haz la diferencia. Entonces él siempre está pensando en cómo hacer la diferencia y él cree mucho en las escrituras y habla sobre el sal hacer el bien. Entonces él cree que las cosas buenas pasan, pero las cosas buenas pasan porque tú hiciste cosas buenas también. Entonces él quiere que la gente que está cerca de él sepa que hay cosas buenas que pasan porque conociste a Dave, o sea que Dave hizo la diferencia, hizo cosas buenas. Very nice, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll have to do this again.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We would love to have you often. And I was talking to Valerie yesterday, and I was telling her about having a meeting and a meeting with her on her own. So, and then maybe a meeting with you together. So we would like to start building a relationship with Dave and Valerie Johnson and get to know you better and learning from you. So if you're willing to do that with Oreca team and all the teams inside it, we will be very, very happy to do that. Le estoy comentando a Dave que necesitamos hacer esto más veces, que a mí me encantaría tenerlos más cerca, tener una reunión con Valerie, su esposa, y después con ellos dos juntos y hacer como una agenda donde podamos aprender más cosas de Dave y tenerlo más cerca y que Oreca y Dave y Valerie vayan construyendo una relación más cercana con este equipo que hoy se conecta.
Okay, I just sent my email, so here I am.
Ok, nos está poniendo su email en el chat para cualquiera que lo quiera contactar puede hacerlo. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Well, hey, sure love you guys, and let's go for it.
Thank you so, so much. I very, very much appreciate your time. You have nice messages on the chat saying thank you. And we're looking forward to meeting again soon.
All right. Sounds good. Much love. Take care.
You. Please say hi to Valerie on our behalf.
I shall. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Don't keep it a secret.
No, we won't. We won't.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Gracias, Dave. Gracias a todos por conectarse. Espero que hayan disfrutado de conocer a Dave, un gran ser humano y un gran empresario de Nikken, que hace el negocio no por el negocio, sino realmente por una transformación en la humanidad. Así es que espero que les haya gustado. Sobrina, te dejo el micrófono para que nos cuentes qué va a pasar mañana, por favor.
Hola, muy buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por conectarse. Pero de verdad, wow, Dave, lo amé.
¡Súper padre!
De verdad lo amé. Tiene frases muy puntuales que dices, wow. Bueno, regresando al tema, mañana hablaremos de las diferencias y beneficios de nuestros productos PyMag, Waterfall, PyMag y Optimizer. Entonces, para que inviten más y logremos, como dice Dave, hacer un cochinero.
Eso del cochinero me gusta muchísimo.
Hagamos cochinero, por favor. Lo vamos a empezar a implementar.
Sí, muy bien.
Hacer cochinero.
Vamos a empezar a regalar premios al cochinero. Muy bien.
Empecé, así que...
Lo haces.
Por ejemplo, Pame, hacer cochineros.
Pues muchas gracias a todos y a todas. Gracias por conectarse. Esperamos que estas reuniones les sirvan tanto como nos sirven a nosotros y que de verdad no tengamos miedo para salir a hacer un cochinero. Somos expertos en limpieza y nos encanta limpiar. Así es que muchas gracias y nos vemos mañana.
Gracias.
Gracias, Vero.
Vivi, ¿algo que quieras comentar? Perdón, Vivi. Estás en mute. Vivi Cooperman.
Vivi, quítate el mute.
Ay, sí. No, increíble, Dave. Encuentro que un aporte impresionante a conocer gente así. Cada vez me doy más cuenta que de verdad que la mística y filosofía de un negocio como Niken no se nos puede olvidar quienes están sobre nosotros. La experiencia no es menor, la gente no se inventa, las experiencias no se inventan, los éxitos no son inventados, sino que, como siempre digo yo, hay que estar siempre cerca de los exitosos. Así que mil gracias, Verónica, por traer a esta persona hoy día a nuestras vidas y aprender de gente así es impagable. Yo esa palabra cochinero la voy a cambiar porque yo por mi manera sofisticada de ser, la palabra cochinero como que me incomoda un poco, pero no se preocupen, voy a tratar de entenderla en chileno. Y nada, feliz hoy día de poder estar con todos juntos, reunidos, y mañana una nueva versión de nuestro grupo y ojalá es que mañana también les guste la reunión que tenemos. Así que muchas gracias por compartir hoy día.
Gracias, Vivi, y esperamos
Hoy
la
día.
traducción de cochinero en chileno. Por favor, no dejes de dárnoslas.
Mañana.
Gracias a todas.
Chao, hasta mañana. Bye.
Gracias, bye bye.
Bye.